Stampin' Up demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time to share with you some things that I'm working on, or things that are coming up, or things that are going on, all that kind of stuff. And I have some special things for you, and I think a lot of people are going to want to watch this video because I have some really great tips and tricks concerning a new bundle that we have coming out next week. Our new catalog launches on the 1st of May, which is a week from today. And we're very excited about that. I'm also going to share with you something that is retiring that I think you need. And I just needed to make one last ditch effort to convince you of that. So anyway, let's hop over to my desktop and see what I've got going on. So here we go. Here's my desktop. Yay. Okay, I'm just going to raise my camera a little bit. It was kind of in my way. My husband borrowed my camera. We share it because he needs it like once every blue moon, and I need it more often than that. Okay, so let's just start with the fact that the catalog is retiring from last year when the new catalog launches. So this catalog is only good through next Tuesday, and there are a whole bunch of things that are on sale. And one of the items that is on sale and still in stock is this gorgeous Masterfully Made Designer Series paper. And you can see all the fabulous colors and designs that are in the catalog. And I am working with that today because I had been hoarding it. I'm going to admit it. I loved it so much I didn't know what to do with it. And now I've got some left because I was, I don't know, hoarding, right? So we're going to use that today. I'm going to show you why you need it. And I will tell you that the coordinating stamp set and dies that go with it, the stamp set itself has sold out. So I apologize. This is not available, and it's not available as a bundle with the dies. However, the dies are still available. And I am here to tell you that even if you don't have the stamp set, this is a great set of dies. I use these almost every month. I do a lot of classes for seniors. I do 2 classes a month. So we make a lot of cards throughout those classes. And these 2 items, this leaf version and this leaf version, make perfect focal points for a sentiment to go over. So I just grab some beautiful DSP. We've got a lot of it. Then I cut out one of these in a coordinating color, and then I find a sentiment, and I can even use this as the sentiment to have them stamp on, and it goes across here, and voila, you've got a card. And it's gorgeous every single time. You can't go wrong. So if you don't already have this, you want it. Also, having this little notebook, this torn notebook edge, is just really cool. It makes a great accent on a card, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But this is what I'm using today because I wanted to tell you the Masterfully Made Designer Series paper and these dies are not to be missed. So if you don't have them, you might want to grab them, and they're both on sale, which is even better. So anyway, take a look at that in my online store. The link is going to be in the details of this video. Okay, so not only are we going to feature that today, but we have a brand new bundle that I want to share, and I may have shown it already. However, I didn't really use it until this week, like really use it. And this bundle is called Unbounded Love, and you can see it has all these great sentiments on it. I love the mixed fonts. Always good to have. May all your wishes come true. How nice is that? Love, love, love this happy birthday to you and yours. Lots of great sentiments. You're a true blessing. Love that. Faith, love, hope, peace. Can't go wrong, right? So these are lots of great stamps, and they are photopolymer, which makes them really, really easy to place, right? So we love that. And then here are the dies that come with the bundle. Check these out. These are all designed to have the sentiments fit inside. Okay, so you can find any one of these stamps can fit into at least one of these little dies. Okay, so the thing is, they're a little bit tricky. They are trickier than I thought. They're amazing, but they are tricky. And let me show you why. I'm going to take two examples because these are the two that I was working with. This one, this die, nice oval. You cut it out, you stamp in the middle, fabulous. And then we have this die, also fabulous. Stamp it, you cut it out, stamp in the middle, and no, that is not how this one works. So we need to take a look at this. So what I did was I took each of these dies. I didn't take the flowers. We kind of understand what flowers are. They're nice accents. Check it out. They are great to put behind any of these. Have them stick out, a little bouquet. Really cute. But I took all of these, the shapes, and I die cut them. And I want to show you what I came up with. So these are self-explanatory, right? This, yep, you stamp it, cut it out, you stamp in the middle, you've got a label. Same thing with the circles. They've got some stitching around them. It's a little bit wider stitching than we're used to. Okay. Then I love this, right? Look at this little shape. You can only put like the hello in there or something. But what about if you took a strip of paper and put this over it in a contrasting color, and it kind of looks like a little extra bow, something like that. Fabulous. This is the die that I just showed you. So exactly as I explained it, right? Cut it out, have some dots, like perforations, and then you can stamp in the middle. And this, this die is exactly like it looks. Okay, so these are pretty standard, but take a look at this. Look at this one. It's actually two pieces. So let me show you the die. Here it is. Looks like it would be just like this, right? No, it's not. If you look, you can see the raised edges in the middle. Can you see that? They're raised, and that's the cutting blade. Okay, so it actually cuts out two pieces. So you get the inside where you can stamp, and then you get the outside, which you can make in a contrasting color, or you can keep it the same color and then just adhere them just like that. Okay, same thing with this one. Check this out. This die is this one right here. Looks like you would just get, something more like this, but you don't. You actually get two pieces, and I'll tell you a little trick. This one makes a great frame. This inside piece actually fits on the inside of this. Woohoo! Always love when you can do a little bit of layering, okay? So that's those. And let me show you, though, what happens. Was it this one? These two. I can't remember which one I showed you, but these two both work a little bit differently, more like this one here. So let me grab that. Here we go. So these cut out, what a great frame, okay? But how do you get something in the middle to stamp on? And at first I was a little perplexed, but as you can see, when you die cut it out, it leaves the center, which then, oops, let me just lay it down, it'll be easier. Fits right over like a puzzle piece, and it goes right back into place. So you can reassemble them, put them back together, or you can make this a contrasting color. And I did that. I cut it out in, I think this is pretty in pink. And you can then just lay it on. And you then have, oh, it's just a little warped, but as you can see, it just fits right in, because it's cut from the same die, same piece, so they line up perfectly. And I'm just not getting it because I've got a camera in my head. So you get that idea. Then with this piece and this piece, see, it cuts it out. So again, it's a frame, and we need to put the inside of the frame. Now this one also fits right inside here, which is very nice. So you could just stamp it there, or you could use a contrasting color like I was just sharing. So we could use this in the pink, lay this on top, and then stamp in the middle, right? Or we could put that down and then take the white again and just put it right back in. I think I have it backwards, but trust me, it fits right back in because that's how you cut it out. Okay. And you've got that. And so that looks pretty cool too, right? So I was a little thrown when I first started working with these, that these were more frame-like. And how was I going to get that middle? That is how you get the middle. So make sure you save those pieces if you're working with them, unless you just want this look, something like that. And you can mix and match and do all kinds of fun things. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that with you because it's really important, because you would be disappointed like I was at first when I first got it. So there are just a couple of those that work that way. But they're fun to have, and it's just that many more. That's much more, that much more of a variety of stamps that you get. So one other thing I wanted to point out with these dies is, I know I always talk about it, but I am a stickler. These dots, most of the dots, when I die cut them, I'll tell you, the dots in here came out just fine. Look at that. They came out cleanly, but they did leave dots behind inside the die. So I just quickly take my take your pick tool and I just poke them out. I've got little pink and green dots all over my room from the projects that I've been working on. You can see how quick and easy that is. You could also use the brush tip and the foam mat. That works too, but this is just easier for me. I have it on hand. And I always make sure I do this before I put it back so that the next time that I go through, it pops out just as easily as it did the first time, to make sure that I get that perfect image. Okay, so they're popped out, and voila. So those are some of the tips and tricks with these dies, and I wanted to make sure that I set your expectations properly for that. Okay, so let's put this aside for the moment and let's make a card. So let's see. Okay, we'll just go with this. Okay, I took a piece of, I prepared this already. This is our Pretty Peacock cardstock, and it goes so well with the Masterfully Made Designer Series paper. And so I'm going to take some white cardstock and put it on the inside using my Stampin' Seal. I almost called it snail. That's what we used to call our old adhesive that we used. But it's Stampin' Seal. I'll put that on the inside. Then I took a piece of the lemon lime twist, because that also goes with the Designer Series paper, and I used that die that we were talking about. Where did I put it? It's not in its case. Can't it be far? I'm telling you, if it's not one thing, it's another here. Here it is. Okay. And this is the die that I was talking about, the little notebook edge. And when you use it, I always use it on the left side of the paper. I don't know why. I guess because that's how I think of a notebook. And you want to line it up right at the edge, and you want to make sure it's straight, because it does kind of look a little funny if it isn't straight, right? And sometimes you'll notice when you put it through your machine, first of all, when you put it through the machine, if this is the main part of the machine and the handle is over here or on the other side, you don't want to put it through like this. You want to put it through vertically, or even on an angle if you can. And the reason for that is that it's not cutting everything all at once as it goes through the machine, okay? So that's one tip with that. And then the other is you might want to use some washi tape to hold it down, because it does, twist around a little. But I also want to tell you, don't be afraid to gently bend it back into place to make it flat, okay? And look at that. When I do that, it stays in place, and I can put it through my machine and it stays just fine, and I can get it straight. And so what you can see, I went ahead and did that, and this is what the result is. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the front side of the card. Of course, you could use it on the right side of the paper. That's just me. I put it on the left because that's how I view a notebook. Okay, so you see I put it here, and what a beautiful contrast. And then I took the Designer Series paper. This paper is actually, I have it right here, I want to show you. I use a lot of my retired papers, as I mentioned, for my seniors classes because, you know, I've been hoarding it and somebody should benefit from it, right? And so let me show you that paper. We have a lot of papers that are like this, where there's an image on one half of the paper, and then the opposite side of the paper has the same. Now, for me, sometimes this poses a problem because I can get fewer cards out of each sheet of paper. However, because of this, if I cut this in half, I can then use these sides to make panels. And I cut mine into 3-inch by 5¼ inches to end up with this. And this way I get 4 out of each side, 4 panels, which means I get 8 out of a sheet of paper, which is great. And I can cover most of my classes that way by just having my 2 packages that I usually order right off the bat. So look how pretty that paper is though, right? And then you've already got that fun stamped background look. And so we're going to just go ahead and adhere this down. Again, another reason why you want to have this paper, you know, here's 8 cards out of 1 sheet, quick and easy. So there we go. We put that down nice and straight. And now all we need is a sentiment. So I went ahead and I cut that die. I cut the paper with that die that we had talked about. And you can see it was 2 pieces. It comes out as 2 pieces, right? So we have that. And let me show you how it works, because the other thing I was puzzled about was, how do you get these things to stick back together properly? And even using wet glue, for me, I find I get a little messy. I get a little glue sticking out. It makes me crazy. So let me just show you. And I saw this trick from somebody online, another demonstrator. And I apologize because I can't remember who, because I was doing a lot of research trying to figure out how did I want to master this myself, and what ideas did I like. So I'm just taking the hello. See how little it is? And I'm going to put it down. And I'm stamping in Pretty Peacock. I have that. And what I'm going to do is take one of my our silicone mats, okay? And I'm going to flip it over, okay? So my stamped image is on the other side. And then I'm going to take the outside border, which you can see got some white paper on there. Let's get rid of that because it just doesn't look nice and clean. Forget my little Band-Aid boo-boo on my finger. Hate when I have to do that. Okay, so we have the frame, and I'm going to also flip it over and get them lined up just so. Okay, so it's as if I just cut it out. Watch this. I'm going to take some dimensionals. I like to mount mine, my labels with dimensionals. I almost always do it. And what you're going to do is make sure that you put it in the corner and that you catch both pieces of the cardstock. So you see that, how I've got it, and I don't have it sticking out up top. So, you know, for some of these, you have to be really, really careful, because I'll show you. Again, look how thin this is. I mean, it's beautiful, but it is thin, right? So when you're adhering it, you want to make sure, where's my other piece? You want just to make sure that when you do it on the back side of this, you're also just catching maybe some spots where you can't see through. So you're not going to put it behind here where there's a dot, but you can put it behind here where there is not a dot. Okay, where there's not a hole in the paper. Okay, so I'm going to do this on both sides. You could do as many dimensionals as you feel necessary, but I think 2 is just going to hold it all together nicely for me. Gives it a little balance. Take that off, and look, it's just as if it's one die cut. I'm going to put that here. I could have put some ribbon behind it, but let's see. I wanted to overlap this a little. There we go. And there we have a beautiful card. And this is a card that I'm going to use with my seniors. They're going to be so excited about it. So Eleanor or Julie or somebody else, if you're watching, don't tell that we're going to be doing this. But you can see just how pretty it is, just with some wonderful designer series paper, which is only available while supplies last, along with those fun dies. I also could have, but did not, choose to put one of these behind it. Remember I talked about that? This is what they look like when you punch them out. And they make great focal points. If I didn't have all this going on here, I could have put that down, but I didn't want to cover up all these beautiful things, and I would have put my label over the top. So that all being said, I think those are the tips and tricks that I wanted to share regarding the Unbounded Love dies. And I'd love to see if you make some mixes and matches. Take a look at this. We could do this like this, and then we could stamp and emboss so that we could see a word in there. I don't like to emboss when I'm doing videos because I don't have the proper setup for that. And anyway, just lots of different combinations. I'm sure you'll see other people do it, but I think this is important to know before you go and order this fabulous bundle that will be available next week with the new catalog. Here again is the stamp set, and check out all the wonderful greetings that you can have on hand, and also all these great shapes that you can cut out and use with any sentiments stamps that you have on hand, whether they're current or retired. I wanted to show you a couple of other cards that I made using this theory. So here is one. I just changed up the background using a different sheet of the designer series paper. Karen, is that leaf die the bigger one in the catalog or online? Yes. So both of these, I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. They are part of the gorgeously made dies that are on sale because they are retiring next week. And I was highlighting the fact that it is a great, great, great die set to have on hand if you don't already own it. The stamp set that it coordinates with to make a bundle is sold out. However, just having these as standalone dies are fabulous, and I use them all the time. And that's why I wanted to show them, because they're going to be gone soon, and if you don't have them, you might want to grab them. And as I said, they are on sale, this die set and the designer series paper as well. Thanks for the question, Karen. Okay, so here I'm back to this card. So you see how I did the white, and then this is the frame, and you can see I adhered it using dimensionals, and I obviously don't have the dimensional right here, but I'm okay with that if it moves a little bit, because it's really not going anywhere because it's a perfect fit. And just one more card right here. I was playing with the background. I love this sheet of the designer series paper that has all the different layers of the papers. And here you can see this was my first attempt when I realized what was going on here. And I just used my wet glue to adhere the little scallops down. And then I stamped on the inside. And then again, with wet glue, I went ahead and just placed it right back in. And then I mounted it with dimensionals to my card using a little bit of that linen thread behind it. So sure, Karen, anytime. Okay, so now that you've seen what is all over my desk, if you have any questions or anything, if you want to, I highly recommend checking out what's on the clearance rack, which was restocked yesterday. And a lot of the stuff is from Christmas. So if you're a Christmas person, you might want to grab some of those things. I will tell you the other thing that I highly recommend grabbing, and this is from the clearance rack, is the treat bags, and they're from Halloween, but having those treat bags on hand, the dies for those, they're just the dies. Just having that treat bag is worth it, and it's discounted, and I highly recommend grabbing it. That's one of the dies that I use to make, a 3D project. You could just stick a little treat in there and it makes a beautiful impression. So there are definitely some great things out there. I highly recommend looking at them. And again, the last chance sale goes on through April 30th or while supplies last. So, and of course, the Unbounded Beauty, that's the suite, and Unbounded Love is the name of the bundle that I shared today, and that'll be out on May 1st. So we were talking about today. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out or check out my website. There's more details on there. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.